Hello there, my stamping friends. It's Jackie Bolhuis from Klompen Stampers. Today we're going to make some cards with the Sending Smile stamp set. This is one of my favorites. You know what? I probably say that a lot because there's so many new stamp sets that I am so in love with. This one is awesome for summer and for just some quick and easy cards. Now, I have lots of things to teach you today. First off, we're going to make a simple card and then show you how to easily step it up to have that wow punch with it. We're also going to talk about the magnetic plate for the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. Oh my gosh, we have been waiting for years, it feels like, for this. Actually, it has been a couple of years. When the machine first came out, they didn't have it yet, and it is now available, and you are going to want it if you do a lot of die cutting, especially with those dies that cut out stamped images. So I'm going to give you some tips for that. So I think you're going to learn a lot today. Now, quickly, before we flip the camera down, remember, every video I have has a corresponding blog post. You'll find the link to that post in the description of the video. It's probably right down there, depending on your device. Just look for video description. It'll take you to the blog post. It'll have pictures of my simple card and my stepped up card, along with the recipe, which means all the cutting directions and everything, all the parts and pieces I used, as well as the complete list of all the supplies. So that'll include all the colors and embellishments and everything that we use today. And then if you'd like to order any of them, I so appreciate it when you select me to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Those of you that are my loyal customers, it's because of you that I can continue to bring fun, quick, and easy stamping videos. Now remember, when you order from me, don't forget to use my host code because you can earn points towards a free stamp set. Now you can find out all about that over on that blog post as well. Now, one more thing. We are 1 week away from registration opening for the Summer Creativate Stamping Retreat. That's why I thought I'd wear this shirt today. The retreat is going to be fabulous. You know, as I started filming, I looked down at my hands and I realized they are so full of ink. I've been filming videos all day today for that retreat. You are not going to want to miss those projects. It's only $45 and we're going to have... what's the number? Somewhere between 36, 37, 38-ish different card tutorials for you. You're going to have so much inspiration. We've got techniques, we've got a couple 3D items, and we have layouts and fun folds and so many fun stamping ideas. You are not going to want to miss out on our online retreat. Now, 1 week from now, it's going to open up. So make sure that you are on my email list so that you get that registration information. Guess what? You can sign up for the email list over on that blog post as well. So you'll find everything just by clicking on that link that is down in the video description. I hope you attend our retreat. I hope you want to be inspired, have fun, have some laughs, and most importantly, learn to use the products you have. We design all of our projects so that you can use any stamps, ink, and paper. We want you to stamp, have fun, create, but use what you have. So that's enough of that. You guys want to stamp, right? Let's flip the camera down and let's get to work. So here's a peek at the stamp set before we start. It is so fun to play with and so easy. And I love all these greetings. A great big sending that goes with each one. Sending birthday wishes, sending all the good luck your way, sending comfort and strength. So you can do so many different things. And then it has the coordinating dies as well. Now, we're going to start out super simple. This is a great stamp set for those of you that might be a brand new stamper because you can do so much so easily with just stamps, paper, and ink. I like to call those my SIP cards. Stamps, ink, and paper is all we need. Now, our paper is our note cards and envelopes. I love these because they come in a pack of 20. You get the note card. It's already scored so that you can fold it, and it comes with the envelopes as well. So our first one, we're going to just start out by making that SIP card, and then we can go ahead and we'll step it up with another one. So we are using Granny Apple Green, and we're going to start out by stamping our 2 different flower stems. And then, ooh, we almost put that in green. I have so much stuff sitting here. I kind of put some to my right and some to my left. Make sure we use the right pieces here, or the right pads. So let's go ahead and use all 3 of the little flowers here. That's that Sweet Sorbet, new color. I've been using that one a lot. And then each flower has its own center. Now, like you can see, nice, big, bold stamps. So I love just the brightness you get out of those. And then this great big sending. So great big stamp. And we are going to go ahead and just stamp that right over the top. Now, this is that new color, which I can never remember, Starry Sky. So we've got that. And then let's do... what do I have? Smiles Across the Miles. And I am being super sloppy today. Look at all that ink I got on the block. I'm bad. So there we go. Sending Smiles Across the Miles. So it is truly that easy to make a cute card. Now we want to dress it up just a smidgen. So let's go ahead and, before we move on to our next one, put a flower on the inside. Now, if you had a greeting, you could add, a different type of greeting to the inside as well. Stamp your envelope with the same flower, and it's ready to go. Now, let's go ahead and look at how we can step it up. So this time, we're going to start with just a piece of basic white, because we're going to do a little bit of layering here. And we'll stamp the same, pretty much the same layout. So we're going to go ahead and stamp our 2 flowers, and then... let's see, the smallest one we're going to put on here first. And let's put the center in there. Otherwise, I always forget this little center. Now, the other 2 flowers, rather than stamping them directly on there, we're going to use a piece of scrap paper here. So we need this one, and then we're going to use the dies to cut those out. Now, little tip, I found, even though this one's going to go on here for the center, I found this is easier to stamp once I've cut it out. So we'll cut both of those out. And then before we go to the die cutting machine, I want to also show you a couple of dies here that we're going to use. So this has... the sending is also one of these layering dies. So you could stamp the image, and I'll show you a sample of that, stamp it and cut it out. But what we're going to do is use the 2 dies to make the greeting. So the white one, it's real thin. It makes sending, real small. And I have found with these real intricate dies, I love using the adhesive sheets to adhere them together. Now this comes in, I think it's 6 by 12, a pretty big piece. And I just cut a chunk of it, about as big as I need. Oh, that was white. I didn't really have to flip it over. Oh yeah, I did. We got ink on it. And we're going to go ahead. This is just a scrap, and we're going to stick that on there. Now, when I cut this, I need to put it on the cardstock side. Don't make the mistake of coming where we put that adhesive sheet. I've done that before. And we're going to run that through our cut and emboss machine like so. And then the bolder one, we'll call it, we're going to stamp out of a scrap of Starry Sky. I don't have room on my table here for my cut and emboss machine, but I want to show you something. The new magnetic plate, which I am so happy to finally have this, is heavy, it's big, it's amazing. And I want to share that the instruction sheet that comes with it, now, they may have changed it, but if you have one of the originals, it shows the sandwich here as plate 1, 2, 5, 3. You do not use number 2. That is an error. So you need to go 1, 5, 3. So to run it through, we're going to go 1, and then here's 5. We'll put our number so you can see them all. Now, you want the, I don't know if it's rubber or whatever this is, up. You don't want the metal part up. And this is like a self-healing. You can see some cut marks. There must have been like just little shreds of cardstock in my dies. That's why we got some color going on there. Doesn't affect it at all. And you can see color marks, but that's what's going to happen with this. But what's amazing is it will not warp because it's such thick metal. So when I cut these out, we're going to make sure that that is on top of that. This is on here. Now, you don't have to necessarily use the magnetic one for when you're not trying to line them up, because so what if it slides a little bit? But I've been finding I'm just using it all the time, just for ease. But we're going to cut those out. But this is where having this magnetic one is really nice because these stick on here. So just barely, okay, enough to hold them in place. You know how in the past I've recommended using washi tape if you have a tendency for those dies to not stay where they're supposed to. This helps keep them right where they're supposed to. Put on, let's keep it all the same here, 3. So it was 153, and run it through the machine. So let me go run that through and these 2 pieces through, and I will be right back. Okay, so first off, let's take a look at these. Here is our bolder piece. You know, it looks like it's more that darker cardstock that leaves little shreddy things in there. You can probably get those out with like a linen brush if you really want to. And then this one. Now I'm going to show you one little piece here. The eye does have a little dot, and we're going to try to save that. It's not easy to put on there, but I was able to do it on my sample I made. So we'll see if we can keep that. I don't think it would matter if you didn't put that on there, but I think it makes it look cooler. Okay, so we're going to break this one out of there. You can see how nice these dies are cutting with this magnetic plate too. So, okay, and it looks like, look at that. I say how nice it cut. There's one little spot there. It didn't cut all the way through, and that backing tore off without me having to peel it. So it just makes it easier for me. Couple little pieces we want to punch out. We need the middle of these out. I'm always using my take your pick tool when I'm die cutting because the little end, the pokey end, piercing end, works really good for those extra pieces. Now this is going to stick right on top of this. Since there's adhesive on there because it peeled off on us, we're going to start down here at the left. And because it's so almost dainty, it wants to bend on its own, I kind of start at the left and then I can move it around and stick it down all the way across. Ha-ha, there we go. Now, this little dot, we'll see if we can get that on here. I was able to last time on the one I putzed around with. Actually, I'm not going to putz on video because that would bore you. You'll see my finished one. So it would look great without it, but if you can get it on there, go for it. You could even use just a little tiny dab of glue and stick it on there without peeling off that adhesive backing, because that was the tough part. Okay, then we have these 2 pieces. So we're going to come back over here and we're going to stamp the insides. This inside, we could have stamped that before we cut it, but this one, this is where I think it's easier to go ahead and cut first, just to make sure everything's lined up correctly. Then, of course, we've got to use some dimensionals, so we'll stick a dimensional underneath that one. Now, the only difference here than that first card is we're using all these die cut pieces and dimensionals to pop some things up, and it just gives our card a whole different look. Now this one, oops, are we on there? There we go. We need to use those minis. Now mini ones, I use that take your pick tool again to get them off the sheet and then to peel the backings off. So let's stick a few on there. I probably stick more than I need to, but I like to make sure it stays up. But if you just kind of pop, you know, stab it and almost like doing a little check mark, they come off real easy. So we can go ahead, oh, we almost put it upside down. And we're gonna go ahead and stick it like so. Oh, there's that eye, that dot. We're gonna do that later when we get off the camera here. Then for our greeting, we're gonna use a card to say hello. And then in the set of dies, you've got a long banner and a short banner, which makes it really fun to cut out these pieces. So let me go cut this one out quick. There we go. And this one needs the mini dots as well, or mini dimensionals. So let's go ahead and put those on there. But you see the same layout we got going here, just with a few things popped up. And you can see what a difference it makes the card look. There we go. And we'll layer it on a piece of that Starry Sky cardstock. Just give it a little bit more pop of color. And from there, we can stick it onto our card base. Whoops. See, that's why I like that green glue. See how it popped right off? While the glue is still wet, you can slide it around, pop it off, move it around. There's that. And then we can put some adhesive on it and stick it onto a white card base. there we go. There is our stepped up version. So if we bring our first one in, you'll see the only difference really is with the layout is we use the dies to pop up the colors or the images. We use sending with the dies and then a layer of cardstock there. So it's really easy to step cards up. It's not hard, just took a couple more steps and a little bit more cardstock. Now let me show you a couple other versions. So with this one, I stamped the image. I used the same sending stamp and then I used that bolder die that came in the set and just cut it out. So I was able to pop that up, popped up one flower, and then added a couple of butterfly embellishments. These are so cute, especially with cards that have flowers on them. So it's still the note card, but just by cutting two things out and popping it up, it really steps up that card a lot. And then this one is very similar to the one I made for you today, but this time I cut it down a little bit and just added it onto a piece of Granny Apple Green, just to have a little bit more color for my base. And there's the inside of that one. Still need to stamp the inside. But there you can see, I wrestled with that little dot on the eye and I was able to get it on there. So there you go. There are our cards for today. This Sending Smile stamp set is amazing, just saying. If it's on your wish list, make sure to go over to my website. You can get the list of everything that I used today and then use my host code so that you can work towards earning a free stamp set from me. Thanks for watching, and remember, 1 week from today, that Creative 8 Retreat registration opens up. So when you're over on my website, make sure that you sign up for my newsletter if you don't already get my email newsletters so that you're notified and you get the registration, because there's early bird registration. You want to register in the first 3 days when we open it up for a special bonus tutorial. So thanks for watching today. We'll be stamping real soon. Bye-bye.